What's up gamers, welcome back to another episode of Video Game Gems. I'm Ginge the Ripper, let's play a game. Many of the games I've talked about so far use an anime art style, so I thought today we'd talk about something a little more American made. In fact, this game never left the West. Today we're tackling a game called Zombies Ate My Neighbors, a shooter for the SNES and Sega Genesis. The game released in North America and Europe in 1993. It was developed by LucasArts and published by Konami. LucasArts brought the SNES version back on the Wii Virtual Console late 2009. We're going to look at the SNES version first, then discuss the differences between it and the Genesis version. The game has a simple narrative. A mad scientist named Dr. Tongue has created a variety of monsters from different horror movies and has released them upon the world. It's up to Zeke and Julie, two longtime friends, to rescue their neighbors and stop Dr. Tongue. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is a masterpiece. You play through 48 levels of unforgiving nightmares, trying to save your neighbors while avoiding a relentless horde of monsters. There's a total of 10 neighbors in each stage. Collect them all and the exit door opens. If a neighbor gets eaten by one of the monsters, your victim count drops to 9 per stage, and so on until you run out of neighbors. If this happens, or you die, it's game over. You'll regain a victim every 40,000 points. If you reach 40,000 points without losing any victims, you'll be rewarded with an extra life. Shooting enemies, saving victims, collecting money, and other various bonuses will reward you with points at the end of each stage. You'll receive a password every 4 stages that starts you back on a password stage with however many victims you have left. However, most of your weapons are taken away, and you're dropped back in with the starting equipment. Depending on how far you are in the game, it would be wise to just start over, since a lot of good weapons and items are rare, and losing them can really hurt you in the long run. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is scary, for both its difficulty and its fear of the unknown. Here's a clip of me playing through the first level. It's not difficult. Zombies will walk around aimlessly until they get close to you or a neighbor, then they'll attack. Zombies are so slow that you can outrun them, and when you have to shoot them, they die in one hit. This level gives the player a basic understanding of the game and its rules. There are a variety of victims to collect, and once you've collected them all, you can advance to the next level. Some victims are locked behind doors, and some in swimming pools, along with various other hiding places. You can also pick up different items and weapons that will help you throughout your journey. The second level isn't much different. There are a few more houses and obstacles you have to maneuver through to collect your victims. You also get an item that allows you to break through walls. In the third level, things start to pick up. You encounter a new enemy, the evil dolls. Sometimes after killing them, they will turn into fire imps and chase you around. They throw axes in your direction, and the water pistol doesn't do much damage to them. They're a little annoying, but not too hard to defeat. Level 4 is a game changer. You're dropped into the middle of a hedge maze filled with chainsaw-wielding hockey masked men. Most of your weapons won't do enough damage to take them down, so you'll spend most of your time running from them. They can saw through hedges, and sometimes you'll need them to reach a victim. These guys are terrifying when you first meet them. And you first meet them in the 4th level of the game. You're still new to this game, and you might even get a game over on this level. But that's just the kind of game Zombies Ate My Neighbors is. You don't know what to expect as you progress through this game, and you don't know how long the game is. The next level may be easy or hard. You don't know, and you won't know if you're ready for it. That rush of anxiety and excitement is what makes this game a gem. Your character has a total of 10 HP, and enemies will only ever take away 1 hit point with each attack. This might not sound so bad, but it's easy to forget how much health you have with everything else going on. And with enemies constantly attacking you, your health will quickly deplete if you're not careful. I know I'm making it look really easy, but for first-time players, this game isn't so forgiving. Needless to say, you're going to spend a lot of time dying until you figure out how to play, and that's where the real fun begins. Even knowing everything there is to know about this game, you're not going to beat it on your first try. The further you get, the more anxious you'll become. because you know if you get a game over, you'll have to start all over again. This game is so tedious that I beat it for the first time last month just before capturing footage for this video. I played this game at my aunt's house when I was a kid, and eventually got it on the virtual console when I found out it was on there. You'll never spend more than a few minutes on each level, but due to the intensity of the game, you'll feel like you've been playing longer than you actually have. So when you get a game over pretty far in, it can be emotionally draining. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is also co-op. Most people think that playing this game with another player makes the game even more challenging, and I have to agree. Both players have to share one screen, and if they get too far away from each other, they won't be able to see enemies coming, and can get caught in some unforgiving situations. You don't share items with your partner, but you'll probably go through equipment faster. The only way this game could possibly be beaten in 2-player mode is if the players knew exactly what they were doing. Overall, multiplayer mode is fun. Whether you get through the game or not, it's fun jumping into the game with a friend for a good time. Items and weapons are scattered throughout this game. They can be picked up off the ground or scavenged in various hiding places like trash cans and cabinets. Scavenging is completely random. You have a chance to find nothing, one of the items or weapons in this game except for one, or a purple monster that hurts you. So what are all the different items and weapons? Health kits are pretty self-explanatory. They heal your character all the way when your health is low. Since they can heal your character all the way, it's best to save them when you're down to 1 or 2 hit points. Keys are pretty abundant, but that doesn't mean you can go crazy with them. Keys unlock regular doors, some of which neighbors are hiding behind. You'll need to find lots of keys as you play through the game. Clowns are an item that distract enemies. Enemies will attack the clowns instead of attacking the players. Clowns will disappear on their own after a while if they are not attacked. However, if a clown takes too much damage, it can disappear pretty quickly. Clowns laugh when they are placed down and will continue to laugh until they are no longer in use, even if you're far away from them. Red potions turn the player into an invincible monster for a short amount of time. You can bust through walls and regular doors, but you can't swim or use trampolines. As a monster, you can still pick up items, and you can open hiding places. But if you open hiding places, they won't give you anything, so it's best just to wait until you're back in human form to open them. Blue potions turn you into a ghost, making you invincible for a short time. You can't attack, open doors, jump on trampolines, or search hiding places, but you can walk on water and lava, making it particularly useful for certain levels. Mystery potions can do one of 5 random things. They can heal you like a health kit, they can act like one of the other 2 potions, they can damage you, or they can zombify you. As a zombie, you lose all control of your character as they walk around aimlessly for a short period of time. You can't be attacked, but you can end up in a pretty tight spot. In my experience, most of the time the mystery potions will heal you, so they're not something to be afraid of, and they're more abundant than the other 2 potions. Pandora boxes damage all enemies on the screen, sometimes more than once. It's pretty strong and effective against bosses. Skeleton keys are the only things that can open a skeleton door. Skeleton keys are very rare, and mostly show up in levels with mandatory skeleton doors that you need to open to complete the level. There's one random skeleton key in level 15, which I'll talk about later, but other than that, they aren't found in any other levels that don't contain skeleton doors. It is possible to find a skeleton key in one of the hiding places, but it's pretty rare. You'd be lucky to find one out of every 10 run-throughs of the game. In one playthrough, I managed to find 3 of them, 2 in the same level. I thought it was because I was doing really well, but multiple playthroughs later suggest that I was just pretty lucky. 1-ups are also pretty rare. There are a few hidden in skeleton doors, and 1 in each bonus level. The bonus level icon takes you to a bonus level. Most of the time, they are hidden, but some are found behind skeleton doors and breakable walls. That's it for all the items. Now let's move on to the weapons. Your starting weapon is the water pistol. It can carry up to 99 bullets. It's the most abundant weapon in the game, and you'll constantly be collecting ammo for it. That being said, you don't need to go crazy killing enemies. If you do, you'll find yourself out of ammo really quickly. You can run faster than most of the enemies. You really don't need to kill them unless they get in your way. Knowing how many hits it takes to kill each enemy is key to conserving your ammo and helping you keep your cool. Another thing worth mentioning is that even though you're playing as a 2D character on a 3D plane, you won't have much trouble hitting enemies. When enemies spot you, they will chase you and line themselves up with your character, making them easier to kill. Fire extinguishers can freeze every enemy in the game for a short period of time, except for bosses. The bigger the enemy, the less time they stay frozen. The fire extinguisher can also kill a couple of the enemies, fire imps and jelly blobs. Tomatoes do a little more damage than your water pistol, but they are slower to throw. Soda cans can kill enemies at a distance and can be thrown over walls. They can also put out fires and instantly kill fire imps and dolls. Popsicles are a pretty rare item in the game. They are also effective against jelly blobs and fiery obstacles and enemies. Originally, the game was going to have bananas as a weapon, but they were replaced with the popsicles. I'm not sure why. Silverware is thrown like popsicles and does a lot of damage, but they are also slower than the water gun. Plates can go through enemies and hit multiple enemies in a row. They are also a pretty rare item in the game. Bazookas do a lot of damage and can destroy most monsters in one hit. They can also be used to open regular doors and blast through walls, hedges, and spiderwebs. However, they will not open skeleton doors. Crosses surround the player in light. Any enemy that touches the player while they're using a cross will take damage. It's useful for powering through hordes of monsters. Crosses will also work on bosses, but it won't keep you safe from them. Weed eaters can damage enemies and cut through thorns, but you won't use it much to attack. The alien gun traps enemies in a bubble for a short period of time, immobilizing them. The space gun is rare and can kill blue and red ants in one shot. The flamethrower is the strongest weapon in the game. There's only one, and it's tricky to get. It's hidden behind a skeleton door in level 22. You're supposed to use the spare key from level 15 to get it. This is the only skeleton door in level 22, and there are no skeleton keys in this level. There's a bonus level icon hidden behind the door to act as a decoy. The flamethrower is hidden behind the wall to the right. There are two big bosses you would normally save the flamethrower for, but unfortunately, I can't show you footage of that. Why? Because I forgot to pick it up during my first playthrough. I had to go back and replay the game just to capture footage of the weapon. In the end, it's probably better this way. You use it on the final boss, and a boss you fight late in the game. And one of the points of my channel is not to spoil the games I discuss. However, I will tell you guys something important about the final boss. He has two phases. If you run out of flamethrower and Pandora boxes on the second phase, use your pistol. It does a lot of damage really quickly. I also read somewhere online that there's a shotgun hidden in level 14, but I haven't been able to find it. It's more than likely false. If it really did exist, more people would talk about it. You also have a map you can pull up with the R and L buttons that show victims close by and the number of victims that are left on the stage. Those are all the weapons and items that can be found in this game, and with that, I'm going to end the video here. I'll continue talking about this game in a part 2 video I create after this one is released. Thank you so much for watching, and keep on gaming!